And welcome back. Last time, you guys found the crates. You fought some kitties with some tusks. And then Bran made them super scared, and they ran away.
They're a bunch of pussies.
Fum Fu started a drug habit.
Not proud of it.
Not proud of it. And you guys got the crates of spice loaded up into the speeder, and you drove back to town, albeit harrowingly, because Bestroof was the one who started driving the car.
And it was awesome.
He did a fantastic job. We made it, didn't we?
You did make it, yes. And now you guys have pulled up back in the settlement. You're in front of the wet spot. The two enforcers at the door are side-eyeing you guys because they're wondering where Jimmy is. And that is where we left off. So
The driver did it.
You're right, Fum Fu. Jimmy, he the best Godel
The
that I have
driver did
ever
it.
met. But stay here with the speeder. Bestroof and I need to go talk to Jag.
And then Bran's hand was over your face.
your moist face.
Moist face.
The driver did it.
So I'm sort of gonna lead Bestroof towards the enforcers that are sort of side eyeing us and sort of sad.
I'll limp a little bit too.
Yeah, sadly, like hand on my chest. Jimmy tried to show us the way. He tripped and fell down the mine shaft, and when we found him, some tusk cats had gotten to him. We don't think he made it.
One of the enforcers goes, "Ugh," and like immediately is like sad.
How far away are they from us?
They're not that far. They're probably
Did I
like
hear that?
10 feet. Yeah, probably. Sure.
I just want to shout out.
I still
Well,
have
you're-
my
you're-
hand over your mouth.
I saw his arm. His arm got ripped off. And they were eating it.
As you can see, our friend was very traumatized by the whole thing.
Bran's just like,
Jimmy
devastated.
Jimmy did right by us. He was trying to show us the way, and unfortunately, he did not make it.
The one that obviously isn't immediately like eyes filled with tears. The other one is like, ugh, that Jimmy. That's that son of a Godel.
Hey,
Hey,
don't you insult Jimmy by calling him a
It's-
son of a Godel.
It's not an insult. It's
He's
not an
actually a
insult.
Godel.
He's he was probably the toughest Godel around, and one of my best friends. And he looks over and pats the shoulder of the Godel next to him. The one who's like,
Steve's gonna reach in for a group hug and see if he can pickpocket this.
Oh my
which
god.
one? The one that's crying?
Time and place, man.
Let me can I finish the sentence
don't
as
give
you
a-
begin to do that? As you begin to do the one that's talking like claps the shoulder of the one that's crying. And he's like, this guy right here. This is Jimmy's little brother. And which I decided before you decided to be a thieving douchebag.
Sure you did.
And he's like, and Jimmy Jimmy supported him his entire life, and he was really helping him move up in this organization. It was like, Jimmy. And so you're gonna pickpocket this weeping goat man.
Yeah.
And the best part is that the only person that's near him is Bestroof, and he can't fucking see him do it. So like,
There's no moral compass
no
here.
moral repercussions.
All right, we're gonna say it's
Stealth?
2. Yeah, or yeah, I'll take stealth. You could do skullduggery if you'd like to.
Nope. Stealth.
Okay, it'll be 2.
Please don't fuck this up.
Success.
Okay.
God.
Where are you picpocketing? What are you trying to get from?
I'm trying to get whatever valuables I can, just sort of out of his back pocket.
You're just grabbing his ass, hoping there's something in there.
I'm a real friendly. I mean, Jimmy and I were close. This is his little brother.
Jimmy would have loved it.
Godel's like a pat on the ass every now and then. I don't know.
So you reach your wandering hand down, and the Godel that's talking, the first one, he's just like, "Hey, he's like consoling the one now. He's like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, Bimmy. I promise. You.
That's a cute name.
We're gonna figure this out. It's gonna be okay."
Oh wait, hold on. It's Bimmy and Jim.
Bimmy and Jimmy.
Yes. It's Jim and Bimmy.
Oh no.
And Bimk.
And so as that's happening, as you grope a Bimmy, you pull away not many credits. You pull away maybe like 50 credits, but you also pull away like a hollow card, and maybe before you like slip it away, you kind of click it on, and it's a heartwarming picture of Jimmy and Bimmy.
Oh my God.
Like giving broing it up right, like leaning against the speeder, like thumbs up, like hey.
Bimmy, your brother Jimmy, he had this on him when I found him. He mentioned you might have one similar in his dying breaths. I'm gonna hand him that hollow card with his
Jesus
picture.
With trembling hands, Bimmy takes it and he like goes and he reaches for his back pocket and he like pats it. He's like, oh, I lost my picture of my brother, and he just like dissolves into absolute tears. And the other one's like, it's okay, and he's even getting a little weepy too. It's okay, Bimmy. It's gonna be all right. And Bumfu is crying.
I'm crying.
And like they're just like this like consoling like crying like hug mess of just like
Bestroof's gonna lean over to Sticky and say, I think we should leave them to their grief.
I think you're right, gentlemen. I hate to just leave in the middle of this emotional reunion here, but we do have to.
There's
get back
no
to
reunion.
Jag.
He's fucking dead.
We do have to get back to Jag. He is waiting on us, so we're gonna go. Bimmy, my heart goes out to you. Jimmy was close with me. As I said, he always did right by me, and I have your back if you need anything.
The driver did it.
That's right, Fumfu. Jimmy, the driver did it.
Bimmy is just a mess of tears and grief, and the other one is like he's just like waving and he's like just go in there, it's okay, I'll take it, we're gonna be okay, just go tell Jag. Jag's gonna, this is gonna hurt Jag, this is gonna be bad, so just
It really hurt Jimmy.
be careful. choose your words carefully, because this was not the way to tell Bimmy, and Bimmy's
He
just
got
like
a big hole in his head.
okay. And so like they unfortunately don't hear that, because Fumfu's just like, I'm gonna go ahead and say,
Probably speaking gibberish too.
yeah, you're probably just all over the place. I'm gonna say, when did you the hollow card thing? You need to roll deception for that, by the way. Yeah. Like,
By the way.
while I enjoy this scene and the way it's working and Bimmy freaking out, I think you do need to roll deception.
Also, real quick, like name creator of the year, Greg Chafin.
Hey,
for Bimmy,
hey,
Jimmy's brother, Baby.
hey, that's just a nickname.
Being
His name is Bim.
Being that Bimmy is distraught, is this an average or is it like an easy kind of thing?
I'd say it's easy.
It's easy because he's distraught, just to see if
Unless he only
He's a-
had one picture.
That's a success.
Okay,
Nice.
all right. So you did succeed. So
Excellent.
Bimmy is just clutching this hollow card and weeping to his chest and just weeping as he's being consoled by the other enforcer. And you guys step into the wet spot. It's just as bumping as earlier. People are still getting drinks from the self-serve bar. And
Is
Jag is
everybody stepping in?
no. You guys are sitting in the car,
Oh, okay.
but you guys are still outside with Bimmy and the other enforcer, who are both very sad. So we'll get to you guys in a second.
Well, we still have the drugs, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think you
Boys are
guys
just
took the
going in to
crates
talk to
in,
them,
right?
yeah.
We did not.
I got those drugs.
So
I have a very watchful eye over the drugs. Sitting next to Fumfu, I'm just like waiting.
who would have thought the person who would be the drug
Yeah.
user in the group?
Hey, this is my
Fumfu.
first time off the planet, okay?
True, you're
You
experimenting.
gotta get wild.
Yeah.
So it's still bumping. Jag is still at that round table that he was. He's no longer
Eating the same piece of meat.
he's not eating the same piece of meat anymore. It's not lunchtime. He is going over. He is looking at various like data pads and like different kind of like holographic screens and stuff. He's kind of scrolling through things. He's got like little glasses perched on his nose
Aw.
as he like he kind of peers through them and then looks down. Like, they're his readers, obviously. So
They're
So
bifocals.
Steve's gonna sort of stop Beastru. I'm gonna lead you over to
Yeah.
and sort of stop you and just go sort of like let me do the talking. I have the experience in the underworld here. Let me do this. If you feel like you need to step in at any time, go ahead.
Red flag? I have experience in the underworld? Like, what?
Well, I mean, so does.
Well, I guess that's
I
true.
was gonna say,
yeah.
also, hey, drive a car blind. Like,
Oh yeah, by the way, nice job driving.
yeah, I was gonna
thanks,
say.
So I'm gonna step up, again, portraying very deep sadness as best a gank can, and sort of solemnly belly up to the table where Jeg is sitting, going over things, and sort of plop down in a chair sadly.
He peers at you above his glasses, and he's like, "Ah, you came back. I almost expected I was gonna have to send somebody else to get your body. So how'd and he like looks and he sees you and Bistroof. He doesn't see everybody else. He doesn't see his crates. He's like, so where are my things?
Jeg, Boss Jeg, we got your crates, but it was a heavy cost. Jimmy, we asked him for a little bit of guidance to try and get down into the mines and get what you were asking. And being the Jimmy that he was, he did try and lead us, but we got to the bridge. He tripped over a rock and fell. And I'm so sorry to be the one to tell you, but he did not make it. We got your spice, your crates, and they're out on the speeder there.
As you like relay this information, like Jeg's face starts off a very like kind of like what, and then it gets more and more like oh no, and he's like oh we lost Jimmy.
I know he was the best Godel that I know, and I only know him shortly, but
aside from me.
You're right, Boss Jag. I apologize. Second best Godel that I have ever met.
Thank you.
Aside from you, he sacrificed himself trying to protect us on the way in. He did. We did run into some tusk cats, and then as he was sacrificing himself, he tripped over a rock and did fall over where the bridge was.
Did you didn't say anything to the boys outside about this, did you? Jimmy's got a brother in my organization.
I'm afraid they did overhear. Our other companion was just absolutely distraught. The little faceless one.
I didn't like that one.
Me either, Jag. It's just an obligation. You know how that goes. But as I told Bimmy, as
It's so great to hear other people say it.
I told Bimmy after he overheard and started to break out. I did console him, and Jimmy had a holo card with a photo of the two of them, and I did return that to Bimmy, and here are the keys to your speeder with all the spice on it. I handed him the speeder key.
Well, that's touching that you would think of Bimmy in that way in his moment of grief. This is a deep loss losing Jimmy. I just have one question about your story. You said he tripped and fell in the beginning, but then you said that when you found the cats, he sacrificed himself. So did he fall before you found the cats, or did he fall after?
We ran into these cats when we first came in. Like we followed your directions.
It's unusual they don't hunt during the day.
It's very dark in those caves. I think they may have thought it might have been nighttime. But it
This is just getting weaker and weaker. But continue.
yeah, there's
I have
a
a
hole to
question.
dig.
Yes.
When he first told us about this, did he say we were just fetching crates or specifically spice
He
crates?
just told you they were crates.
But we were in a
Crates
spice
of-
mine.
yeah, it was.
But we
No,
didn't
it
know it
was
was
a
a
spice
spice
You didn't
mine
know it
until
was
we
a
got the
spice-
cats.
We both would.
He
Yeah.
has underworld connection.
Yeah.
Steve's
Yeah.
backstory
Okay.
is literally
He just said he had some
exploding
yeah.
spaceship of spice.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
He was just saying he
Spice
needed to get
crates
some
and
crates of
spice
his
mine.
product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so.
Just wondering.
He said
Yeah.
secure my things, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as you begin to weave this tale of just lies, I'm gonna need you to roll a deception on Jeg.
I'm gonna charm him.
You're going to charm him. You're stepping in.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm gonna charm him.
I was gonna say, while they're doing that, can I try to steal a ship again? I'm kidding.
if you'd like.
No,
I'll
You think-
steal a goddamn ship.
I'm tore up. Hell yeah.
Actually, would it be charm or coercion?
Coercion is when you're just like, you are gonna give me this right now. Like that's when you're forced. Like so, charm is more just like, hey, guy, like you know.
Like the shippy situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
You can do it.
Success.
All right. So how do you charm? So he asked this question, which obviously I guess maybe
Which is, hey, you're full of shit.
Hey, Steve is like in his moment, and that's when you.
I'll step in and say, Jeg, you know, there was a lot happening there at the beginning. It you know, it all happened so fast. The
Who can
ultimate
say really? In the words of
Hubert, in the words of Hubert.
No, that was Jimmy.
that was Jimmy.
was
Jimmy
Jimmy's
said, "Who
catchphrase.
can
Jimmy
say
said,
really?"
"Who can say?"
Yeah,
I thought that was Hubert.
Who
No.
can say
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I'll just say, I think it's important to remember here what he really sacrificed himself for. You know, we were able to get his product because of what he did, and this is why we're here with everything you asked for.
Oh,
And Jake kind of, he nods. And he's like, "All right, I could see it's been a difficult day for all of you.
But not as difficult as it is going to be for you. And I completely understand, Boss Jag, and I am so sorry.
I'm gonna have to pay. I'm gonna have to take care of Jimmy's family. I mean, Bimmy. I mean, he's disabled, So it's just gonna be.
Leg disabled?
No, he's just not. He's not all there. That poor sweet Bimmy. He's just.
he's not."
And I'll step
completely
in.
out of character here. I have stolen from a grieving, disabled man at this point. So thank you for that.
Quick question: Did he, when we first signed on for this, did he say we were getting any kind of reward other than the ship being fixed?
He said he was going to pay us.
shit being fixed and you getting your shit together.
Yeah, he said he was.
He did the medic thing already.
Yeah,
But
no, there was no money. There was just
They
the
was
ship,
getting the ship
and
fixed.
getting him fixed.
You did it. You can go back and listen. But
Fair point.
But you didn't. You specifically, you were just like, "Hey, we want to get the ship fixed," and then I think you mentioned something about hey, maybe you can give us a little whatever. But when you guys struck the deal was getting him fixed. Oh gosh, getting him fixed, and then getting the ship fixed. So,
all right.
so he's like,
So I'm gonna have to take care of that boy, but I'll do it. I'll do it in honor of Jimmy. He was a good Godel. He'll be forever missed. He palms the speeder key and he's like, so the only other question I have, sorry to kind of get to business, but was there any damage done to the mine? You got the crates. We lost Jimmy, which terrible loss. But I mean, is it still functional? As I'm still going to be able to use that place,
So, Boss Jag, we got your product, but
Did you open it?
unfortunately, the little faceless one, being curious that she ever was, did pop it open. I motioned to her, "Hey, don't do that. This is Boss Jag's."
it's all right. I mean, I'm sure she's on another planet right now. I'm sure mentally.
She is, and it was as I said, Boss Jag. I am sorry. She got to it before I could.
I want to punch you.
I can forgive that. I can forgive anyone their first hit. I mean, I'm sure it was just,
It is absolutely
it's-
extraterrestrial.
it's
I
gonna be a
understand.
fantastic
Yes.
experience for her. Just
for a couple more hours.
Just remember, she's gonna come down hard.
Right,
That was some.
absolutely.
That was
Brand's
some pure,
outside and she's just like, "Can we fucking go?"
Funfu's just touching her, ooh.
I'm probably doing some weird screechy dance thing.
Interpretive dance.
Yeah, and drawing in the sand and I don't know.
He's like, but yeah, to get back to it, I mean, that's fine. I won't begrudge anyone one hit, their first one especially. But my mind is my mind functional.
The last time that I saw it, it was.
Roll a deception check, you bastard. It wasn't.
The last time that I saw it, it was.
It's no.
It was what he heard.
I heard the.
He heard the crash,
heard
but he
the
didn't
crash.
see
I
the
didn't see
crash
anything just
because we
fall
were
in
getting
or
the fuck out of
anything like
Dodge.
But I think you're well enough aware that the ceiling was starting to cave in. You purposely shot and broke the bridge.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Even.
It breaks even.
And so he just kind of, I guess you just give him like a shrug, like, yeah, like you say that, and like that's the way it is. And he just kind of like looks at you for a little while, and he looks at Bistroof, even though like
Bistroof can't look
he
at
doesn't
him.
really know that like Bistroof can't look, and so he just kind of he looks at you both. He's like, all right, well, we'll say that even if there were any unfortunate incidences in the mine, Jimmy's death notwithstanding, I'll let that go since you've retrieved my product. He's like, so I've held up my end of the bargain. Your friend's face seems to be doing a lot better. And you've held up now your end of the bargain with my product. And he kind of like waves to a couple other Godels who go outside. They come outside to Fumfu and Bran. So kind of like pause on you guys for a second. So you guys are sitting out in the thing. Things are getting weird, I think, with Fumfu.
Real weird.
So what are you doing right now as two Godels come out, like past like the two crying ones, like they're heading toward the speeder?
I'm doing like weird SpongeBob dances, like
The Squidward, like with the techno music.
Yes, yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So,
That's me.
so you're doing that. What is Bran doing in these
She's
moments?
just so fucking over it. Like, I was over it last episode. Like, Bram was over it last episode. Like, she's just like she has her hands on all the crates to make sure that Fumfu can't get to them.
Yeah.
And it's just deadpan, just staring into the horizon, just like, how did this happen?
So two other Godels come walking out of the wet spot, and they come close. And they're just like, "Hey, we're Jeg's boys. We're gonna take those." And they point at the crates, and they're like, "We gotta load them inside." So
Okay, are y'all the same people that are going to fix our ship?
yeah, they both just kind of like raise their hands, like, "Oh no, I don't know anything about that." But that's up to the big boss man. But we just got to move this.
Okay,
stuff.
well, before the collateral is taken, I would like to confirm the fact that we are getting the fuck out of here.
The driver did it.
I just flicker in the middle of the forehead, just like.
Oh, I was just saying, do you flick her nose?
No, I flicker nose across the street,
That poofs out. Oh my drugs.
and all the drugs come flying out.
Some of them get on her face, so there's a little bit more of a hit.
Oh,
but
good.
the rest of it, like, it poofs out in a cloud and like lands in the middle of the street, and they're both just like, I mean, okay. And one of them's like, raises one finger, is like, I could go ask the boss.
Yes, please do that. Thank you.
Okay, and the kind of waddles
I grab
back.
Fumfu and like
back-
shove her into one of the seats of the speeder.
What about her nose? It's in the middle of the street.
I don't give a shit about her now.
My nose. No, I can't leave it.
No,
I will
I
fight.
smush her down to the
I'm
seat, and I'm like,
fighting.
"Stay here. I'll go get your nose. Stay here. Be quiet.
Seatbelt her in.
Stop."
Are you really going to leave her here with the crates of spice unsupervised?
Well,
I mean,
the other Godel's there.
It'll be
Yeah.
like a second. I mean, it's
Okay.
not like she's going on a
Yeah.
journey.
So I
you know?
literally like, when you tell a dog to sit and
Yeah.
you like back away and
Yeah.
you're like, "Are you gonna stay sad?"
Yeah.
I'm literally doing that, like maintaining eye contact with her and like fumbling behind me trying to find the nose in the dirt. And I get the nose and
Yeah.
come back to her and slap it on her dumb face.
It's like upside down.
Yeah, it's all wonky. It's like a Mr. Potato Head nose spun like 2 quarters.
So back inside, the Jeg is about to say like like all right, once we get my product inside, and then we'll work on your shit. And then right as he's saying that, like one of the Godels that went outside comes back in. He's like, excuse me, sir. The very mean spiky lady.
The bully Darth Maul.
She says she wants to get the fuck out of here and won't let us take the collateral, something. She won't let us take the crates, boss. And he just kind of like Jeg just kind of like looks at both of you, and he's like, "Are we having some sort of problem? I'd like to verify my product before we move forward with, the costly repairs
Boss
to your
Jag,
possible
I
ship."
absolutely understand. She's also had a long day. The death of Jimmy and those
Yes, it's very
those Tusk cats. They came after us too. Even I was knocked into by one of the tails. That those tails. They're like whips.
Yeah, so big.
She's had a long day. I think she's just stressed. Let me go back out We'll get this straightened out. I'll bring the crates in myself.
All right. Okay.
Best will say, and I'll stay here.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure about that?
I was going to say, you think that's a good idea?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So Steve's gonna go out.
right.
Go look at Brandon and be like, "Give him the fucking crate so we can get him to fix our ship."
Okay, we'll get him to fix the fucking shit before we give him the fucking crates. That's all we
You
have.
don't understand how the underworld works. This guy's in charge of the fucking place. He's got everything.
Oh, the place.
Are you guys
the
having
place.
this like angry grit?
Yes,
teeth
exactly.
conversation?
And I was like, oh,
Okay.
the place you shot up and blew up and killed his friend and all that shit. That fucking place. That's the place.
You want to split hairs now, or you want to go?
I already told you I want to fucking go.
All right,
I just want to get a ship before we go.
Go to the ship. I'll take care of this. We'll get it fixed. It'll be fine. Take Fumfu with you.
I don't want to take Fumfu. You deal with her. I've been dealing with her for the last 30 minutes.
Do you want to leave?
Yes.
Take Fumfu.
I don't want to take Fumfu.
Those are your two options. Leave and take Fumfu, or we don't leave.
Then we're not leaving.
Done. So I take the crates and go back inside.
Okay. What does Brand think? Is he just
I'm holding one crate like clutched to my chest, just flicking him off around it.
I mean, you obviously can't take them all in at a time.
Yeah,
so,
no,
okay.
I've got
I'm
one.
gonna take two in.
All right,
Yeah.
you take two in, and the judge's like, yeah, and like he gets another goat to bring him closer to him, and he's like, all right. I mean, there were four, so,
Right.
Yeah.
Like I said, she's stressed. I'm trying to get her on our side. Give me just a moment.
Hey, Jag, Boss Jag.
Are you inside now?
No, I'm yelling.
Oh,
I'm just
Through the door.
I'm yelling outside. I'm like,
Okay.
Jag, can I see a mechanic? Just let me see that the mechanic exists, please.
He's like, this is a very it looks like you see. He's like, this is a very unorthodox way of doing business.
I know, Boss Jag. I am sorry.
We don't
she's
ever
not-
show our cards before
I know.
we're,
I know.
ready
I walk
for
in with the crate.
So, okay, so there's still one outside,
Left
though?
alone.
Yeah, she's alone.
Who's alone? Who's alone with the crate?
I'm alone.
Did you just leave Fumfu alone with the crate?
Ah, shit.
What's happening with Fumfu?
Like
run
diving in there. Like it's a fucking swimming pool.
She's like Scrooge McDuck swimming through his
Yes.
money.
rolling around in it like a little piggy.
All right, it's big enough for Fumfu to fit in. I'll take that.
I'm going to cram the lid on because I can't see Fumfu. I'm going to cram the lid on and push the crate inside.
Fumfu, what's going through your drug-addled brain right now?
Fumfu's
I mean, I
ugly.
guess you're just in
Is
this
it just
like,
like sandy stuff? Like
yeah, it's like powdery. Like, I mean, like, I don't know.
I want to try to get to the bottom of it.
Honesty moment. Never touched
But,
cocaine, so
yeah.
don't know what it feels like.
don't know.
But I assume.
I'm just gonna try to dig my way to the bottom. Like, is there? It's never ending. I don't know. Just trying to.
I mean, and I'm sure plenty of it's hitting your face and your. I don't
my
think you're.
mouth.
I don't think you're
Pretty sure
absorbing.
getting close to dead soon.
This is probably
Well, I don't think you're. I don't think you're absorbing like everything. I feel like you have to. I feel like the way like a Callidian's face like
Yeah.
works, like you have to like want to.
Willingly,
yeah.
want
she
to.
wants to.
But I mean, like she's also Fumfu, so like this might be a first time experience, but she's not insane. She's just high, and there's always a part of you that's just like
Maybe I should chill.
yeah, or whatever. So I think she's just having a great time. It's a cool texture, and she's just
Swimming.
like swimming through the spice.
Yeah.
So you bring it in or whatever. Jag opens up one of the first ones you brought in, and he kind of like runs his hand through it and palms it and like feels like it's like a dusty red kind of thing or whatever. Sand, powdery stuff or whatever. And he's like, you see this. This is some high quality stuff. We had to drill for weeks for this stuff. And he's like, all right, yes. And he counts. He's like, all right, that's all four. And maybe the fourth one's rumbling a little bit. And he's just
Yes.
like,
I
he's
got
like-
the dancing.
It's got to be a
Dancing.
faulty lift motor. I'm just going to turn the lift motor off, pick another one up, and put it on top of it.
Is
He's
Fumfu
like-
about to die?
he's like that happens
You're gonna
sometimes.
leave me
These
here.
It does.
the repulsors they can
many
fail,
times,
so
many
it's
times,
all
Jay.
right.
Many
He's like,
times.
all right, so and he kind of snaps his fingers, and he's just like, "Hey, come here, or whatever." And a crew of like 3 or 4, well, I can't say 3 or 4, 4 Godels kind of step up out from like around another part of the bar, and they look like they kind of like, they look like grease monkeys, like they got like kind of like overalls going on, and they're kind of dirty looking or whatever. Some of them got like electro spanners and stuff like that. And he's like, "All right, this is gonna be Pabori, and this is the rest of his boys.
And the boys.
They are gonna fix your ship." So, and one of the things we did talk about, and you did actually bring back all my crates, and as far as I can tell, you didn't destroy my mine. We're still gonna.
Bran shoots like the scathingest look across its to Eve. But at the same time, she's really stoked that like the mechanics are finally present.
Yeah. He's like, we're gonna. He's like, what? You also think we talked about, because I don't want you trying to be getting greedy on me about getting paid for any of this. Is I did say I was giving you a hyperdrive, and those things are new, those things are pricey. He's like, but don't ask me, if it breaks, don't come back here trying to get us to fix it. We have one and it's ready.
Believe me, Boss Jag, we won't be back.
I have a question.
Yes.
My telepathy thing, how does that work?
It's like mild, so it's like thoughts or feel like it's what like you can put like thoughts or feelings like
just out there for anyone to feel.
I guess if you're high right now, probably.
I feel like it's on like supersonic, like.
So what is going through Fun Fu right now? Like right now, she's like,
she's in a crate.
You're
right?
in a crate
I
full
think
of
by
spice,
now I realize that I'm in a crate,
and you're scared.
and I think
okay, so like now it's like this, just like everyone feels this like
imposing,
like dread,
fear
yeah, like
thing.
this kind of like dread that like something doesn't
like,
feel
yeah.
great.
yeah.
Jeg's even like kind of like tugging at his shirt collar a little bit, like So yeah, I'm getting the heebie-jeebies right now. So Babori and the boys, you show them where your ship is, they'll fix it. Let them do their thing. It shouldn't take them too long. They're pretty good at this sort of thing. Now install your hyperdrive, and you're out of here. And I guess I won't see you again. He's like, "What?" And he kind of slides you a digicard as well. And he's like, That's got my personal transponder code. So if you're ever needing, perhaps you're needing a little bit of advice, maybe you're, looking to get into some business. This has been." And he pats his crates, and he probably like slaps the one that Fum Fu is in, like doom doom or whatever. It's like, and obviously, my product is in is secured, and you're the first batch of people that's ever been able to do that for me, and only at the loss of Jimmy, which is terrible, but it's better than losing everybody or losing the spice. So if you ever need something, you can try giving me a ring. Jag will give you a call.
You got it, Boss Jag. Here's mine.
All right, and he takes yours. He's like, "Great, I will never call you for help." But
I figured.
then he like takes like a mental stock for a second. He's like, "Wasn't there?"
Screaming.
He's like looks around. He's like, "Wasn't there 4 of you? Where's the fourth?"
The little faceless one was just outside last I saw.
I'm sure the crate is rumbling a little bit more.
I think I would start singing.
Okay. He kind of like side eyes the crate and like back it's to E and at Bran and at Bistroof, even though Bistroof can't see. He's going like, did you bring back one of them cats and put it in my crate? Because we might have a problem.
Not that I know of, boss.
You want to open that up for me?
Absolutely, you got it. I'm gonna pop it open.
Okay.
I'm gonna like
jump out and say surprise.
scary Bilbo face.
You come out and you're like stained like rust colored red, because like a lot of what you wear is like kind of white or tan anyways, and you've been in this spice for like a minute, so you're like just this rust colored Fum Fu, and so you just come out and you're like or whatever you do or whatever. And at first Jack's like, "Oh God, what the?" He's like, "Oh." And he just like wags a finger. You guys, he's like, "I mean, you guys told me it was her first time, but you didn't tell me that she liked to party." Like, jeez.
We didn't know either, Boss Jag. We didn't know either.
Can I jump out and try to like climb on the ceiling, like just start crawling up the wall.
Crazy ass Spider-Man shit.
Yes.
You can try to. I don't think Fumfu can
Like
climb
the
the
ending
wall.
of Hereditary, she's just like on the fucking
You're
ceiling.
trying to climb the wall, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Wow, that is you are gonna wanna." He's like, "Okay, you guys are gonna want to do a couple of things. You're gonna want to hose it down. You're gonna want to get her some fluids." And then you may need to like just strap it down for like the next like
Kumli
that.
pie?
I was about to say, do you think a Kumli would like sober her up a
mean,
little bit?
I mean, if you got one, I mean, like that might.
I
be-
grabbed the Kumli out of my bag.
He's like, "Oh wow, that's it." And he's like, "You need to." And he knocks on it for you. He knocks on it 3 times, and he's like, "That's a ripe one. Now you actually got a good one. So if you make that into
A pie.
if you make it into a pie, that might actually clear that. At least when she starts to come down, that'll make sure that she's not quite so sick, because she will be ill. It will be quite gross."
I want to go over to Bestruve, and
Okay.
I'm gonna like climb up onto your face and just like start touching your eyes.
Okay, that's
Well, that's not possible.
that's going to startle Bistroop, and I'm going to
Yeah.
shove you off.
Okay, the driver did it.
As you can see, Boss Jag, she's not in a real good place mentally from the spice, and she is tore up about
I'll-
Jimmy. So let's get Babori and the boys
There were
over
so
to our
many
ship.
cats.
Right, so many cats, faceless horror, so many cats. Let's get Babori and the boys over to the ship, get them fixed up, and take care of our friend. We'll be out of your
They
hair.
threw
Thank
me.
you.
And
They
I'll-
threw me
thank
over a
you.
cliff.
I'll interrupt and say, "Steve, take Fumfu," and I'll turn to Jack.
No, I don't
Jag.
want him to take me.
I'll turn to
I'm
Jag
gonna
and
run
say,
away.
I'll turn to Jag and say, "So, what are you? How are you going to move your product?"
He's like, "Well, first it's, I mean," he points at Fufu. He's like, "I mean, she's wild. I mean, like raw spice. That is no joke. I would not fuck with that. That's something else. It needs to get processed, and once we make, we'll make some glitter stems, we'll make some death sticks." He's like, "But once it's been processed," he's like, "then I'm just gonna, distribute it out to my guys." And I mean, it's like, we've got quite a healthy, buyer base here, but I mean, like we service some other planets. We have a decent amount of what we need here. What are you thinking? What's your aiming at?
Well, I think we could help each other out. We plan on leaving this planet and potentially going to nearby planets if that's where your network extends.
He's like, "Well, I mean, you're gonna have to give me some time to process, but once we have everything processed, I mean, we could probably arrange a drop off, and you do a little bit of selling for me, and I give you a little bit off the top, and then maybe we can work something together. But you do realize if you're in the business with me, you're not in the business with anybody else. I know. I've got contacts. I'll know if you there's no two-timing me in this.
And trust me,
I'm
Jag,
a jealous employer.
Jag, I'm very familiar with the way business works. I got you.
All right, he's like, "So I've already got your friend there. He's got my transponder. I've got his. So I'll just I'll look you guys up wherever you clock in next when we get this processed, and you might get a little surprise drop off. So
You think you could have it processed by the time the ship's repaired?
like, no, it's gonna take several days. It'd be best if you guys had moved on to that point, because if you try to, it's much easier to get stuff delivered than it is to take it off world. You know what I'm saying? Like we know the back channels. We're not gonna get searched."
Understood.
He's like, "And this with this whole Republic thing they got going on, we got there's new restrictions, there's new, there's all kinds of new rules, and we're figuring out how to break new ones every day. So, we'll let us break the rules, and you'll just be my dealers."
So while this conversation is going on, I'd like to try and basically just pick Fumfu up by the collar.
No.
And lead.
No.
and lead Babori and the boys
No.
over to the ship.
No.
Fumfu was resisting,
I am
apparently.
Not allowing that.
Bran has been at the bar for the last 20 minutes. Just over.
Pounded
yeah.
How do I resist it?
Let's see if he's picking you up. You could do.
Oh, you're like rolling for it.
Can I send him like bad psychic vibes? Like, don't touch me, I'll crush you.
So for that, do
Did you say I'll curse you or I'll crush you?
I'll curse you.
That's what you think.
I'll crush you.
do
He knows you're high as fuck.
do your brawl check. All right, but do it with
That's
so
not ideal for you.
You also have those 2 black ones.
well in this case, since you're sending the vibes, I'll do is I'll split the difference and I'll let you have 1 boost. So 1 blue, yeah, you're right. No,
blacks.
just 1 black.
Oh, 1 black.
1 black, 1 boost, and then the difficulty is 2 purple. You got your 1 destiny point if you want to use it.
Thought we had to agree on
No, we
using
don't.
destiny points.
You guys technically, I mean, like
Hold on.
you technically no, anyone can
Is-
use them.
In that case, I want to use a destiny point to make this more difficult for her.
Well, you can't do it. You can't do it like that. You can only use it on me. You can only use it on me. Yeah.
You can't do it antagonistically,
Yeah.
Wait,
is
so I
what
can't
he's
do it
saying.
No, you can use. You guys only have 1 light side point, so you can use it
Oh, for the whole game?
for this whole
Right now?
session. Yeah.
No, I won't do that.
Okay.
Looks like it's
It's-
You break even. Yeah. So
Do
you're.
these count though for goodies?
I mean, they're just advantages.
Goodie.
Yeah.
I win.
No. you're struggling, but it's neither affecting Steve nor stopping him.
Help! This guy is a killer! He's killing me!
And
Help!
you'd have it coming, you little faceless shit.
Somebody help me.
Are you guys out of the building yet?
We're going to be out of the building shortly.
Yeah, I'm heading out
Can
too.
Okay.
What do you want to do? Go ahead.
But I already tried.
Yeah,
it.
you already tried.
Okay.
So, all right. So they're gone.
screaming.
Are you waiting, or what are you doing, Best Truth? Are you gonna go with?
I'm gonna continue
You hurt
talking
me.
to Jeg.
Okay.
Tell me
I
more
thought
about
about
this
punching you in the
this
face.
hyperdrive.
He's like, well, I don't know how much you know about him, but I mean, you either, stay on a ship and you just get, you get old as hell, as you travel across this galaxy. That's why people don't go very far. He's like, or you get one of them sleeper ships, but those things can be so, I find them uncomfortable. It's dangerous. He's like, but this hyperdrive thing, let me tell you about this shit. This thing, you program it, it plans a route. You don't hit a planet, you don't hit a star, you just boosh, and you're there in hour tops. It's like you go halfway across the galaxy, it take you less than a day. Whereas with a regular ship, regular drives, it's gonna take you, 6 months to get across the galaxy. He's like, you realize in my lifetime, I've never been outside of this planetary sector. He's like, but now I could go to Coruscant in one big old jump, and that's a whole untapped market that we can just get out there now. I can get there in no time.
And I'll say,
It's amazing times we're living in.
that ship that you have there, does that have a hyperdrive?
He's like, oh yeah, that's exactly the thing I'm talking about. That's what I was telling your friend. The whole shippy shiphead thing is like that's actually how I got it. I had enough points and I turned it in for won a contest. I got a hyperdrive and it's like it's been great. I haven't gone too far yet, but I'm looking pretty forward to just punching in the coordinates and just going whenever I want.
Nice. If you ever want to take it out here soon, I wouldn't mind joining you.
He's like, yeah, well, I mean, I still gotta, I gotta run the business here, day-to-day operations. He's like, it's unfortunate, Jimmy was lined up to be my next, planetary base guy. So, I mean, I'm not gonna give it to Bimmy. I'm just gonna tell you that much. But so I gotta groom a new guy, get him into the right position, make sure he's got what it takes. And he's like, so it might be a minute before I get to really take her off. But it's like she looks so nice, and it's intimidating when you tell someone you own a ship.
Has the sun gone down yet?
It's probably pretty close. Yeah, it's probably like 5 or 6.
And I'll say, Steve is an exceptional pilot. If you ever decided you wanted some of us to help you out with this endeavor, I know we talked about conducting business together, but if you ever needed to extend that reach even further than what a small group of us could do, he's the guy.
Well, I mean, he's like, I know most people, around here, they're not into the ganks, but he's like, but they don't necessarily bother me. He's like, and he taps his fatter head. He's like, I think it's something, my brain is definitely higher evolved or something. It doesn't bother me. He's like, but I would be definitely, willing to potentially conduct, to see our partnership through a little bit more, a little deeper in the future.
Excellent. Now, I think it would be, kind of cool to see if Steve could pilot that ship of yours, just to, see how far it can actually go.
Well, you mean
Obviously, with you present, we would never take that without you.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about now? Like, you want to go now?
Yeah, sure.
Like, but what about? I mean, you guys got your ship. You don't. I mean, like.
Well, the ship's in disarray. It needs repaired.
yeah.
Why not just take it out for a spin?
Well, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be the worst thing.
I mean, why not? You spend so much time here, crunching numbers, and you talk about wanting to adventure. Why not use this time? I mean, it's what, evening? A few hours left in the day? It's almost time for
Yeah.
you to head out anyways. Why don't we use this time and see where it takes us?
He kind of like looks at like all of his work in front of him, and he kind of like actually like physically looks at like his like reader glasses, and he kind of like takes them off. And he's like, you know what? Yeah, I do a lot. I do a lot for other people. I mean, I know I'm I deal drugs and I'm a bad guy or whatever. He's like, but I do a lot for other people. Okay, he's like, I'm gonna have to take care of Bimmy here. I mean, like, I'm gonna have to. Someone's got to make sure that guy knows how to put on his pants. I mean, like that. That's someone's job.
That's
and like,
what you do.
and I mean, like, it may not be what I physically do, but I gotta organize the guy who gets to put on Bimmy's pants.
It's the logistics of who puts on Bimmy's pants one leg at a time. All right.
This entire empire is built on putting on pants.
Jimmy's pants, Bimmy's pants
Bimmy.
specifically. Excuse me.
So
God
you know
rest
what?
Jimmy's soul.
I'm tired of you know what? I need to do something for me. I mean, like what I do for me is I sit here and I eat and I have a drink. He's like, but then his emotions around. He's like, but then I just end up doing work. The place where I come to relax is where I do work. He's like, I'm doing work with you. I've been doing work while you were gone. I've been paperwork, and I mean, he's like, and he kind of like stands up, and like some of the other Godels like like whoa, he's standing up or whatever. He's like, yeah, you know what? We're gonna send Babori and the boys, and they're gonna go work on your ship. And we're gonna go take mine. We're gonna do a little zip around. He's like, you know what? We can go wherever we want because we can be back here in in no time. So let's do let's go. And he kind of pops down from his head. And he's short obviously, and he kind of was like he waddles to the door and like he waddles past you, and he's just kind of like, oh yeah, hey, I'm walking. I don't know how this works. I have eyes, so I'm walking away now. We're walking to the ship. The base troph.
I'm looking forward to experiencing this hyperdrive. Let me see if I can grab Stee for us.
Okay, should I? He kind of gets closer to you. He's like, you think it's been not a great day? You think I should bring Bimmy with us? Should Bimmy experience the hyperdrive? It might take the sting of his brother off, maybe.
Jag, I'll let you make that call, but I think he also might need some time to grieve. And
You're right. It's hard to think something is awesome when you've just lost like your only brother and guy who was taking care of you your whole life and
Putting your pants on.
put your pants on and yeah, it's hard. I want him to experience the joy when he's like ready to experience the joy. Not yeah, you're right. It's a good call. You're an empathetic motherfucker. Beast Roof.
All right. So Best Roof at this point, I would assume like walking in, I've memorized like the.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
a little
sure
bit more
this
keen
one.
on my senses.
You got
Okay,
the
so
floor plan.
I'll make my way back to the front, and I see you guys, like all of you, all three of you.
Yeah, there's another speeder that Pabori and the boys are like loaded up in, and they're like waiting to be
They're
like.
just like, what the fuck?
They're like, okay, we're ready to go to the ship. We'll follow you in the speeder. Let's go.
Okay, so I'll walk up to Bran first, or actually I'll walk up to Stee and I'll say, hey, I got Jeg to allow us to get on his ship. We're going to take him for a joyride, but I think we're going to leave everybody here to work on the ship, give them some coordinates for us to meet up once the ship is repaired, and we'll go our separate ways and meet up.
That's a sweet ship. I can't believe he agreed to that, Bistroof. I guess I'm flying?
Yes.
All right, somebody's going to have to take care of this one. And I'm going to throw Fumfu at you.
At me.
At you.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go talk to Babori and the boys, Babby, and let them know where that ship's at. I'm going to walk up to Babby, and she go, Babby, boys, we're taking Jag on a joyride. Here's the coordinates for the ship. And I tell them where the ship's at.
I'm like, okay, it could take a minute, but is there anything important that we're not allowed to, we may have to do a complete overhaul. You got anything important?
There's a dead guy in there.
That
He's
is
dead. He's dead.
Is that true? That's unfortunate
Well,
to know.
Yeah,
He was-
we woke up from that sleep thing. That
I
ship
just
was
wondered, do you have
crashing.
any like Nava data that you don't want us to delete? You know, stuff like your former coordinates or like where you were going.
Yeah, so any of the nav data, go ahead and salvage as much of that as you possibly can, and then everything else can get a complete overhaul. Being that we're not going to need sleeper capability anymore with that sweet hyperdrive that Boss Jag's given us.
Yeah.
You can gut that out and give us some more living space or some more storage space. Whatever you feel like is best, baby.
Some less dead guy space.
Okay,
I'm gonna-
That'd be fantastic.
I'm gonna walk Fumfu over to Bran, and I'll say, Bran, we're gonna take Jeg out on the new ship. I'm gonna try to see if we can get both ships, but we need somebody to stay here.
Oh
Get
my god.
both ships.
I
Get
don't-
both ships.
I'm gonna.
I am so not into this. Like talking over her shoulder, and just like looking at you, like this is not okay. Why don't you get like Mr. fucking Quickfinger, like
We're
just
going
get him
in.
to shoot him while y'all are on the ship, and then just come back and scoop us up.
That's the
We can't sit
plan.
around.
That's the plan. I'm gonna cover her. I'm gonna cover
Whoa,
your.
what
I'm covering
is
your
happening?
ears. I'm covering your ears while
I
I'm
don't
saying
have
that.
ear holes.
Well, then how are you hearing anything?
Covering your entire head in a sack full of spice.
You better, because I'm listening.
Yeah, no, I'm like pushing you aside, like to where you can't hear something. So I'll say that's the plan. We're gonna get him alone, and then we'll take care of him. We'll meet you back at the other ship once it's repaired. Take care of them, and we'll both leave with
Yeah,
two
but
ships.
what's the time frame we're looking at? I can't just stand around with this idiot all night while these guys fix a ship. She's stoned out of her gourd. What am I supposed to do with her?
Keep her stoned.
Well, give me your drugs then.
I'm gonna pat around for
I'll
drugs. I'd be like,
I'll peer
don't
up
have
and say,
anymore.
hey guys, what's the timeline on the fix on that ship?
Well, we got to get there first, but I mean, hard drive minimum, maybe 2 hours. Pretty easy upgrade. Whatever other problems you got with this shit, we gotta look. We don't know what your engine looks like. I mean, if it's extensive, I'll give you like 4 hours ballpark, maybe.
And I'll pipe back down. Look, like 4 hours at the most, give or take.
That is a long. Okay,
I'll get look. If we get any money out of this, you can have my share. I think this is a good thing to
I
do.
don't care about money. I just care about not taking care of an idiot for the next 4 hours. You see what I'm dealing with? She gestures just like the Will Smith meme, just like look at this.
Okay, well, look. Why don't we make some kind of agreement that
struggling.
after we get both ships, you could potentially have one of the ships. That way, if you wanted to leave to go off on your own, to go home or wherever you want, we can work something out.
All right. I take
I shove-
You are
I-
bequeathed.
I take the fucked up Fumfu into my care.
Jag comes up. You got a phone food. Jag waddles up. He's like, "Hey, guys." So, and he kind of like draws a circle like around the four of you. He's like, it's like, we all ready? We all ready to do this? Good class trip, fun trip.
yeah. So me and Bestie, we're gonna take you out for that joyride. They're gonna stay here and try and help Babby and the boys get that ship straightened out.
And he kind of like holds the hand. Whoa, okay. And he looks at Bran. At first he looks at Funfu, and then he kind of like waits. And he looks at Bran. He's like, I don't mean to offend, so please disregard. And then he turns back to the two of you. He's like, I'm sorry. You're saying we're going to leave these women behind, and I'm gonna fly with you two up in the ship? Like, I want my life to be exciting, and like I hang out with a lot of dudes.
Yeah.
So like, I
Fumfu's
mean,
into it great.
so it's like that's it. I thought this was a whole everybody thing.
So, Jeg, think about it this way: if we hyper jump to, I don't know, some exotic planet, and you meet some fine women there, you're gonna need space on your ship to bring them back here, right? Perhaps we could talk them into coming back.
Or maybe we just show them off the ship, and being that it's your ship, folks are impressionable. Think of the implication if we just get stuck in space.
The implication.
I had not considered this type of opportunity that you were presenting to me. And he turns back to Bran. He's like, again, I do not mean to offend, but please go away. I mean,
I leave.
And he
Like with a little bit of chagrin because I really wanted to go on that fucking dope ass ship. Like I tried to rob it. Like
Yeah.
I want that ship. So like I'm dragging her behind me and like looking over my shoulder, just like no, fuck you guys. You always get to do the cool shit. And I get in the speeder to go with Bobo. What's his name?
Pabori.
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 I've been calling him Babby.
It's with a P though. It's Pabori.
Yeah, I
Babby
misheard
gets
it.
pregnant.
So
Okay.
Steve doesn't actually.
Steve? Nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna embrace it. Fuck
Okay.
it.
All right. So you guys kind of speed off with Pabori and the boys are going to fix the ship. So you guys, you get up and Jag, goes up and punches in the right code to get into the ship. The door opens.
Can I roll perception on the tones of whatever he's clicking?
Yeah, but remember you're blind, so
It's okay.
that's going to be like 5 purple. So just re-roll 2 of your purples.
Oh my
Just
God.
remember.
5 purple.
Yeah, because
It's 3.
Yeah.
It's 3.
Yeah, you're blind, and 2, you're trying to see a man's secret code. So what's that right there? If it's a failure already, you might as well just quit while you're ahead.
It is.
Okay. You don't get it. You try, but you don't get it.
That's okay.
So you guys get in. This ship is super nice. Like the outside is like is white, and it's got like these nice, cool like teal and like rust colored accents like all around it. You guys get onto the ship. He pulls himself up into the captain's seat. There's really room for 3 chairs behind him, so you guys adopt the 2 of them. He starts flicking some switches, popping some things on for the ship to turn on. What's his ship? Hold on. And so and he's just like, all right, I gotta get it going. You gotta realize this is I have only flown this thing like twice, and we didn't really go anywhere. We just kind of went around the planet and landed. So it's like it's new.
Just drove
all
around
right?
the block.
He's like, hey, will you? And he points to Steve. He's like, will you flip up those 3 switches there and pull down that lever, please?
Done.
All right, so you do it. So when you pull the lever, though, like something like sparks, and like the whole like for a minute, like the console thing like goes completely dark, and he like sits there for a second. It's all dark, and he's like, and he like thumps it a little bit, and it kind of comes back on, but it's like weaker. And he like pushes some buttons, and the console display like shows like basically like new user setup kind of stuff. And he's like. And he looks at you like he's like, you have some cybernetic shit, don't you?
Oh.
I do.
And he's like, yeah. So we can't really like deal with that. So like when I didn't want my boys to be in pain, so we have a damper put on the ship. So what the ship is naturally a cybernetic thing, and it's to make it easier for Godos to fly in space. So. Yeah, it looks like your stupid arm just overloaded the damper, and now my ship doesn't remember its name. I don't have a transponder code, so now I'm gonna have to reboot my ship. So that's great. So
Control Alt Delete, baby.
so he's like, so he just like types in some things random. He's just like Jag password
Jig.
Jiggy Mrs. Jimmy. Ship name. I'm gonna call it. Yeah, here we go. We're gonna call it Jimmy for now. I'll fix the settings later. So the Jimmy. All right. And he like does some things. He's like, all right. So I say you can fly a ship. He's like, just try not, be careful with your arm, because I don't want you to overload any more circuits, because we don't want to keep having to rename the ship every 5 seconds we get on it. So that would be the worst. And he switched his seats with you, and he like looks at Mr. He's like, this is gonna be great, man. This is, and he stops. He's like, you do realize that like the beauty of this whole experience is gonna be completely lost to you because you have no eyes.
It's more about the memories we're about to make, Jag.
He's right, Boss Jag. It's more about the experience. I'll show you.
Okay, and the ship starts to lift up off the ground. You guys are going up. I'm not going to make you rolls. You guys exit the atmosphere, you're up into space. And you guys are up there with Jag, Fumfu, and Vran. You guys just arrive at the ship by the swamp. It's still all good.
I'm blasting like Now That's What I Call Music, like 62, just to like entertain her
I
fucked
am.
up ass, and she is just like loving it.
Yes.
Kung Fu is all over it.
I'm playing
She's
Spice
bumping.
Girls, but it's like Space Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spice Girls mean like they're high.
Yeah, exactly. And she's just
Spice
loving it.
So like Babori and the boys get out and they like get in and then you hear one of them be like, "Oh God!" and they come out a little bit later with the body of the dang it, I forgot the race, the blue squishy headed guy. I feel bad. Dang it.
It's a Smurf.
No, it's not Smurf. They have a different name, but whatever. He pulled out the body of the guy, and they're like, "Man, how long have you guys been in here? Because this guy is like 2 weeks dead. Like this is gross."
I mean, we woke up like 8 hours ago. I can't really vouch for what time he woke up because I think he didn't, is the thing.
Okay, all right. So they're like that, and then Babori like opens the door manually to get into where the engines are, and he just sees like the ruined engine, and he's just like, "Holy shit!" And he comes back to the front of the door, like the door of the ship, and looks at you.
There's
Brandon.
like click clack guts everywhere, I'm sure.
No, it's on the inside, so it's
Oh,
like where
inside,
like it
alright.
blew up and stuff, and he's just like, this is my professional opinion, but you need to know something. This isn't just broken, like it didn't just like fuck up. He's like, somebody set off a bomb in there. A bomb went off. You know anything about that?
No, absolutely not. Like I said, I woke up 8 hours ago and the thing was on fire. It was falling. We all
Someone
had
tried to kill us.
Okay, yes, I agree with you, Fumfu, but now is not the time for you to be talking.
He's like, I mean, I'm gonna get to work on.
Murderers!
I'm gonna get to work on it, but I mean,
driver did it.
that's pretty wild. I'm just saying. So he goes back in, and they all start going to work. So you guys are by the swamp. Steve and Miss Roof are up in space with Jeg, and as they kind of, I'm sure, I don't know what Steve is punching into the console, but you guys are getting ready, and that is where we're going to close for today. I want to thank everybody for listening. Please follow us on our social medias. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can see where we post things there. Posting new episodes every Monday. Thank you to Savant for letting us use their awesome podcasting studio. Check them out, the Shrimp Take Podcast. And I don't have anything else to plug. We'll have another episode next week. We love you guys, and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye bye.